Hello, everybody. I'm Tyler Ellison, and thank you for joining me for another astrological reading. We're going to dive right into our date of May 2nd. So, the star that is most greatly going to be interacting with Earth is known as Merkab. And what is particularly amazing about the star is it is connected to the constellation Pegasus. And if you've been following this series, one of the things you may have noticed is a lot of the stars that we are talking about on the daily basis tend to be connected to the 12 traditional zodiacal signs. What I really like about this particular stellar window we're experiencing is we're beginning to experience the influence of constellations that aren't a part of the 12 zodiacal powers. So this is where, in my opinion, more expansiveness is revealed in relation to the ancient myths and stories and extraterrestrial connections that are related to the constellations, the zodiac, and that which is beyond the higher dimensions, the non-physical expressions of the universe, which are just as real as our 3D solid reality, which is just energy vibrating so densely that it creates a appearance of physicality. So I describe physical reality as a bunch of subtle energy particles condensed together. They're all vibrating, but they're vibrating at such a rate, such a frequency that they appear to be stable, solid objects. So what's amazing about this is when you know that that is what the physical reality is made of, then if you know how to work with energy, you have the ability to shift things, to change things within your experience of physical life. And it creates a greater deal of effortlessness because if you're working with energy, you are working with the source of power that physical reality is based upon. So you can direct that power consciously. And that's what these stars assist us in doing. That is what the tarot cards, the number powers assist us in doing. If you're following our angel and demon series, that's exactly why people call upon the angels and demons. So they can increase their ability to shift the elements because we have to remember angels and demons, just like everything else, me and you included, are just energy. They're frequencies of consciousness that can be called upon, and they are incredibly benevolent. Even darker entities, if they are worked with in a benevolent way, they will present in that way. It's just like with people. If you treat a person well, they will treat you well. There's a higher probability of that. And I have found nothing but success from these explorations into relationships with various forms of extra dimensional consciousness. So let's talk about Merkab. It's a part of Pegasus. It contains the energies of Mars and Mercury. So Mars, our great energizer, our protector, and in many ways, our conqueror. Mercury, communication, success in business, technology. These two things coming together. What does this translate with the idea of Pegasus and the Star of Merkab? Well, it translates as goodwill, connection between friends and family, and the ability to access higher love. So it's seen as a star of prosperity. It's seen as a star of love, and it's seen as a star of favor, being able to open the door to the dreams, to the manifestations that you've been diligently calling forth. Merkab can help to open that door and create greater experience in relation to your dreams come to life. So let's talk about our number of the day. The number of the day is 6. This is the number of the sun. So the sun is our hidden influence for this Thursday. And what's nice about Thursdays? Thursdays are ruled by Jupiter. So we have the sun and Jupiter together. So let's talk about that. The sun is all about success in business, success in your relationships, being able to mingle with many different circles, being able to attract wealth, prosperity, because as you know, the color for the sun, which we all learned when we were kids, right, is gold. It's golden sun. We've all seen that. It's from time we were young till now, we still see it. It's a archetypal expression of solar energy. We associate gold and the sun together in tremendous ways. This is one of the reasons why in the Bible, Christ is described as a king, because Christ is of solar consciousness, also why he's considered to be the son of God. And if we go into the Egyptian mythologies, we see the same kinds of narratives that are pertinent to Christ played out with Osiris. So just a little bit of fun ancient history. So Jupiter is all about abundance, prosperity, and expansion. It, in many ways, is a planet of fire, but presents as a water power in terms of how it expands. And that's one of the amazing qualities about Jupiter. And that's one of its relations to Pisces, and that it energizes Pisces in that type of way. Pisces people have a very expansive aura, and really powerful Pisces people, their aura can be like tidal waves. You know, they're amazing. Their zodiacal sign, of course, is literally a portal. So there's, of course, the depiction of the two fish being tied together. However, there is a more, you could say, sigil-like expression of the Piscean sign. It's essentially a torus, a wormhole, with a horizontal line right through the middle. I encourage you to get on Google, type in zodiacal symbol for Pisces, and you're going to see some really, really interesting things. And we'll save that for another time. I'm starting to get into this history and some of these other ideas because this is what we teach, right? When we work with students and clients in the Temple of the Celestial Rose, we are drawing upon the mystery schools of Egypt, the mystery schools of Mesopotamia, the mystery schools of ancient China, all types of things we draw upon. So our techniques are real. And what I mean by that is they're built upon a lasting legacy. We still see Sumerian temples, the ziggurats, erected and perfected. We still see the pyramids. We still see these ancient temples in Eastern countries. So as you can see, these currents are still alive. They're still a part of our world, and they have withstood the test of time. So let's dive in a little bit more deeply to our tarot card that relates to this day. Our tarot card is the Emperor, which is very appropriate because our previous day, May 1st, Beltane, was connected to the tarot card, the Empress. So now we are playing with the Emperor. So Beltane is a celebration, very extravagant, very sensual, very pleasing. Now we have the Emperor. So this is order. It is about protecting and solidifying that which you have accumulated, that which you have drawn into your life. So it's a card of boundaries as well as a card of expansion because it's ruled by Mars. Its zodiacal sign is Aries. It is the card for Aries. So that is the warrior on the body. That's the face. This is what goes out into the world. So in addition to this protective quality, we're also given an expansive boost from this tarot card. And this can assist us in being able to preserve what we've accumulated whilst also being able to spend our energy in accumulating, you could say, the success of our goals, moving forward in certain paths and having victories. So the Emperor is seen as a very auspicious card as the Empress, and we're going to be drawing upon that influence as we move further into Thursday. So, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please take advantage of these wonderful opportunities. Create a very simple ritual. Light some candles and say, "Powers of Merkab, I summon thee. Activate goodwill, favor, and blessings in my life. I call upon you." And see the star above you in your ritual space, and see that a light comes down and shines on that candle. At first, you might say, "Oh, it's my imagination, it's visualization." But if you do that for a few minutes, you're going to find that there's a real energy you're playing with, and you'll be channeling the stars. That's a little basic ritual for those of you that might be new to ritual magic, which involves props, it involves visualization, it involves poetic pronunciation and speaking of your desires. And it involves active relationships with the living forces and intelligences of nature. So have fun with that, my friends. Be well, and I will see you tomorrow for our following video. Take care.